Okay, so Ayesha Curry did an interview with Red Table Talk, a Facebook watch show hosted by Jada Pinkett Smith, and she said this.
Something that really bothers me and like honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that yeah, like there are all these women like throwing themselves, but me, like the past 10 years, like I don't have any of that. Like I have zero, this sounds weird, but like male attention. And so then like I begin to internalize it and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What,
You're not
like,
looking. You're not.
Okay, so she says she feels insecure about her beauty because she's not getting enough attention from men. Now, looking at this statement alone, can you imagine what the narrative would be? If the roles were reversed, one of the consequences for Steph would probably be that he lost all of his sponsors, so he would lose millions of dollars that he got in endorsements. And you would imagine that because of that, a lot of women and bloggers would go to social media, write articles, and make several videos in which they analyze everything that he says, and then they would criticize him for making those statements and use that as an argument for why, they feel validated by their opinions. But for Ayesha, it's okay for her to have those feelings because she's a woman. Now, Ayesha Curry did get some negativity from her statements. Let's face it, in this society, black men as a whole, whenever we do something, like we often, the face of a lot of negative shit, and it gets intensified whenever we do something. And we would never hear the end of it if he would have made a statement about that. She's been married to this man since 2011. Known him since she was in her early teens. Has 3 kids. He has earned millions of dollars from the NBA, as well as the other money that he gets from his endorsements. And she still is not happy. She also has a successful career of her own and has her own money. And yet something is still missing in her life. Now I have to wonder, what type of attention does she expect to get? I mean, after all, she's a light-skinned woman with light colored eyes. So I kind of find that far-fetched to believe that she is not receiving DMs from men. I mean, those features alone bring a lot of thirst and attention. Unless it's like some random Joe and she's not trying to see that type of attention. It's trying to seek a man of similar stature to her husband. Speaking of receiving attention from men, the way that she has portrayed her image as a wholesome, devout, religious mother, married to a championship-winning NBA star, has hindered men from approaching her. And she also seems jealous that women are trying to get with her husband.
Always like very, very friendly, and sometimes to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm a grown woman, so I'll just insert myself and be like, hello, how are you doing?
Right.
Like, I'm okay with it now, and I've obviously, like the devil is a liar, and there's always like, the ladies will always be lurking,
Right.
hoping for their moment and waiting. You need to be aware of that.
Right.
But for me, I honestly hate it. I don't like when I feel like leveled off with someone.
Exactly.
It just irks my nerves. And so like we had the conversation about it, and he like tries really, really hard to make sure that if we're going somewhere, I'm being introduced. Like
Exactly.
I don't like to have to introduce myself. It irks my
Right.
nerves. So we try and I try and make that known. But there have been a couple of times where I've wanted to like punch somebody in the face for sure.
Yeah.
That's human nature. It's never him. It's always
it's
the
always
it's always
the other. It's
person.
always the other ones. Yeah.
And he doesn't necessarily know how to deal with that because he's like he's
just a nice
generally
guy.
nice human being.
And he just wants
and he
everybody
can't
to
see
be
it
cool.
coming. Yeah, he can't see it coming. I see it from a mile away.
She has to remember that he is an NBA player, and unfortunately that does come with the territory. However, most of these women are not looking for just him. They're looking at him because of his fame and the amount of money that he has, not a genuine person that she knows that he is. So honestly, I think that Ayesha Curry should be humble for the situation that she has been put in. There are plenty of women that will take all the attention that she's receiving from Steph Curry away from her. Alright, so the point that I'm trying to drive home here is that it seems for women that their main goal is to get a man that is willing to marry them and provide. So they want him to be the provider of the household and not to choose the Instagram models and the video vixens, and to get the wholesome girl who's religious, is gonna have the kids and cook and clean, the woman that a lot of women claim to be online. And yet that's the girl that Steph chose to marry, and yet this woman is still not satisfied with everything that he brought to the table. So I have to ask, for the women that are listening to this, what exactly do you think this is going to bring into the heads of men that hear this woman, that this woman made this statement online publicly? That they fought for and struggled to get everything that they wanted in society, and yet women expect men to put themselves in the shoes of Steph Curry, and yet the woman that he married is not fully satisfied with everything that he has. Why would a man want to put himself in that shoes? So these men are not going to be willing to put themselves in that situation, and they would rather just go their own way.